Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. In this video, we're checking out the Pacific Rim series from McFarlane Toys. I'm a big fan of the two Pacific Rim movies, though to be honest with you, I have not watched any of the animated content, and I've only read a little bit of the comics. But nonetheless, I was really excited that McFarlane Toys announced that they were getting into the Pacific Rim franchise. So with this series, you get a comic book along with a 4-inch action figure. And it's not just that, you also get a battle damaged building, a little bit of street, and 2 army vehicles. You know, with the packaging, my criticism about like all of McFarlane Toys stuff is that there's more box and packaging than you need to have for the thing. It displays really nicely, it just takes a lot of space. Kind of doesn't matter here because we're going to open up these action figures. On the back, you've got a little bit of intel or a little short description about either the kaiju or the robot, along with some battle details, battle scoring for them. I really love this approach. You know, for $20, you might pay a little bit more or less at certain outlets, but for $20, you get the comic book, the action figure, the diorama accessories, and with this, play value, I think it's a great way to bring this franchise to both kids and adults. And it's the comic book, it's a full-blown, full-color comic, so that's really great. These are the two that I picked up. On the left, we've got Cherno Alpha. On the right, that is Raiju. Both of these characters appeared in the first Pacific Rim film. This is Cherno Alpha up close. It's an impressive amount of detail considering the size, considering the price point for this action figure. I think it's a good-looking action figure. There is posability, limited posability in the action figure. There's an elbow joint, the arms do move, the legs also move, there's a knee joint as well. It's a fairly sturdy action figure. It can stand on its own quite easily. Raiju also stands easily on its own. It's got kind of a softer plastic to it. Considering the size and scale and price point, a lot of detail sculpted into this kaiju. There is a limited articulation. The head turns, the arms and legs move, but you don't have the elbow joint or knee joint. On mine, there's a little bit of a paint imperfection on the tail. Nonetheless, a cool looking action figure. The McFarlane Pacific Rim toys are listed at 4 inches tall, though I think the Cherno Alpha is closer to 4.5. So at that scale, it pairs nicely with other similarly scaled action figures like this Super 7 Godzilla. With this line, there are 4 kaiju and 4 Jaegers. I'm sorry, I know I called it a robot earlier. They're called Jaegers in Pacific Rim. With the buildings, you can build out a full skyline should you choose to buy the entire set. You can also adjust the height with those middle parts. You can just take one part away and just change the height of the buildings. That's kind of cool that you can do that, and also you can see kind of the battle damage potential by taking off the top right there. With this toy line, it reminds me of Geocraper. That's a line of toys that came out in Japan, kind of a skyline set. The scales are completely different, but maybe we'll create a video of that sometime. One criticism that I do have about this set is the quality of plastic that's used in these diorama pieces. You can see it's a cheaper quality of plastic, and so that shows up in the mold for the buildings in multiple places. Also, with this piece of the intersection, you can see the low quality of plastic, so it's gray, but then you got these streaks of black that are in there. This is right out of the package. It looks, not great in the diorama. So with each set, you get 2 vehicles. Here are the 2 sets together. So we've got the 4 vehicles. They are all molded in green. There are no moving parts, no rolling wheels, none of that here. I know that for other Pacific Rim McFarlane Toys, you get aircraft, so that's cool. So I think this is a really wonderful line. Considering the price point at $20, really affordable considering you get a full comic book, a quality action figure, these diorama pieces as well. Yes, I have some criticisms about the quality of plastic for those diorama pieces, but I think this is a lot of fun for both kids and adults. Also, it works great if you've got 4-inch scale action figures. You can use those buildings for those toys. Post in the comments, what do you think of the McFarlane Toys Pacific Rim action figures? Are you going to add them to your collection? As always, thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.